Welcome to our tutorial on building a game with JavaFX Canvas. Today, we'll be creating a simple game that involves moving a character to catch falling objects. This is a great way to get familiar with JavaFX and game development concepts. First, let's set up our JavaFX project. If you haven't already, make sure you have the Java Development Kit, JDK, installed, as well as an IDE like IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse. Create a new Java project in your IDE. If you are using IntelliJ IDEA, select New Project, choose JavaFX from the options, and follow the prompts to set up a new project. Now, let's create our main application class. Create a new Java class named GameApp. This class will extend application. Here's how the class will look. We've set up our main class and created a basic window for our game. The GameLoop method will handle the game's logic and rendering. Let's implement the GameLoop to continually update the canvas. In the GameLoop method, we start an animation timer. This allows us to manage game frames and updates. Next, we will create two new methods, update and render. The update method will handle game logic like player movement, and render will draw the game on the canvas. Now, let's implement a player character. We'll need to create a simple player class that holds the player's position and a method to draw the player on the canvas. With our player class implemented, we can now create an instance of the player in our game app. Let's add this to our game app class. In our update method, we need to handle player movement based on keyboard input. We can use key event to detect when the player presses the left or right arrow keys. This code allows the player to move left and right. Next, we'll add falling objects to catch. We'll create a falling object class for this and manage a list of these objects in our game app. Next, we need to implement the logic for creating and updating the falling objects. Inside our update method, check if it is time to create a new falling object and update their positions. Now, let's update the render method to draw the falling objects on the canvas. To finish up, we'll add collision detection to see if the player catches the falling objects. We will check if the bounds of the player intersect with any of the falling objects. This collision detection system will help us determine when the player has intercepted a falling object. Let's extract the player and falling object bounds for collision detection. Finally, let's showcase the full working code for our game app and the other classes. Now that we have our game functional, let's discuss how we can expand it. Consider adding features like scoring, levels, and sound effects to make it more engaging. Thanks for following along. We've created a simple game using the JavaFX canvas, learning about rendering and game logic. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more programming content.